Hello and welcome to the video on how to create a periodization activity. My name is Dr. Jeremy, and today I'll be helping you create one using the service called Flippity. We're going to be using content from grade 10, unit 1, and let us begin. So what is periodization? That might be one of the first things for us to think about before we even create a periodization activity for students. It's the process or the study of history by categorizing, usually in blocks of time and usually named. And students usually have a hard time even thinking about periodizing history and putting things together. And usually we explain it how it's the process of trying to understand if there are any connections in history, if there are any current processes or even historical processes that we see in common. Let us actually work on this activity to see if we could help students actually get that. So the next step here is to actually pick a content. The content I'm using is from a range from the early modern period, and it can all be found in Unit 1. And I just put them here. We're going to first arrange them in order sequence, and then we're going to ask the students to really reflect on these events. So what kind of order sequence are we looking for? This is another way to open up conversation because there is no real one answer for some of these. Let me show you how to create this activity on Flippity itself. What is Flippity? If you type flippity.net, it will take you to this service where you can turn any Google spreadsheet into an activity. There are tons of activities available here. Today, we're going to use the manipulative one, but I highly suggest go to flippity.net and check it out. There are several things here depending on our activity. They give you a demo so you can see how it could work, instructions for how to make it work, which we will definitely click on. And then there'll be a template for us, and that will be our next step after. So if we go into the instructions, they tell you how to modify the template. They tell you to make sure you make a copy of it and make sure you're signed into a Google account. And then you will edit the terms and edit the color. Once done with that, you will publish your spreadsheet, and then there's a link provided. Let me show you how we will do it. So the first thing, this was the template itself. They ask you to make a copy. Now we have our copy. You can title it whatever you wish. For us, we'll do periodization activity. And we know that we have a couple of terms we want to do. I will just take out all these terms and put in the terms I want. So we're going to do the Protestant Reformation. And you can put this in whatever order you want. Columbian Exchange. And this is a good activity to use either as a starter or do now, or you could actually use it as a review activity. Something that can really engage the students and also start them off with discussion as well. Okay, and I don't mind keeping these colors. Let's just make sure that we don't have too many. So we do not need purple, and we could keep these colors. Right? You can also choose the background for your manipulative. I would suggest, I like the world one, but make sure that it's on top. So we will delete the rows that we do not need and keep the image. You can also put any image of your choice. You just have to give it a name and then give the link to it. If you want to change anything else, you could change the font or display. I'm going to leave this as is for now. And this is going to be your link. But before you do anything, you must publish the spreadsheet. Otherwise, none of your changes will be saved. So you go to File, and you go down to Publish to the Web. Make sure you click on Published. Okay. You could choose to embed or link this, and this will be the link as well, but I tend to go with the link provided in the spreadsheet, and you could click on it. And now you have your manipulative, and it could go in many different ways. You can spread it out, and the students will have this ability. Maybe you want to actually have them do first, second, third. Then this means we need to go back into our spreadsheet and make sure you have this saved somewhere so you know where to go. You go back to manipulatives, and then you could actually write your other terms that you wish. So let's say we want to have first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. This might mean we might need some other colors as well. Let's see how it looks. But remember, before we do anything, we must publish. There is the setting where it automatically republishes, but I like to gear on the safe side and just make sure. By just going here and making sure, we know the changes have been done. I also like to just restart it. And now we have, but we're noticing something, right? The colors are not the same, which means that we need to go back. And what I realized, because the colors weren't there, this means that I need to put my colors up here. Right? So now I have my colors up here, and I make sure I published. Everything's good. I'm going to redo my link. And now we have our colors. This is only if you really want the colors, you do not have to. And then students have the ability to move things around. You can either share your screen and have them tell you where things should be moved. You could have them do them themselves. You could have them do them in breakout groups. But this is a great way to get students just to really visualize what they're doing with the periods. And another great thing here, you could have them put it in any way they want and then give their reasoning. And this is a great start to a discussion about periodization and why things get put in certain periods of time. A good wrap up for the activity will definitely be to talk about if the event was the most triggering or what had the most change. That would be a great way to really pull everything together and have a nice wrap up and reflection. Students will definitely love to share with this. However, gearing it together is a very good idea. Here are some examples of how things could look like depending on your color scheme. I did the color scheme for the events themselves, but you could also change the color scheme for first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Right. I hope this was helpful and that you use Flippity as a tool to create your next manipulatives. Have a great day.